Hi guys, it's Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy, and these are your angel messages for this week. So I thought that I would hop on today and do a live video. I wanted to just talk about some stuff that's been coming up a lot lately, and one of those things, and this is really a pretty consistent theme that I experience, is that I have people who ask me, want me to tell them the answer, right? So as a psychic medium, people come to me and they say, what's the answer to this, or how does this feel, or what do you think about this? And absolutely, that's part of my job, and I love to be able to offer people feedback on that. But I see, on a grander scale, a bigger part of my purpose is to help to connect people with their own intuition, right? Because I think that it's so important that we are connecting with that, and that we are allowing ourselves to understand how we connect with that, because I can answer questions for you all day, but your intuition is always going to trump whatever my intuition is feeling about that. No matter what, no matter how intuitive I am, no matter how connected I am, your intuition is always going to be better. Hi Jen, make sure you guys say hi if you're watching. Hi Jessica. So yeah, your intuition is always going to trump anybody else's intuition, and so this is what I see is as really important, is to help to connect people with their own intuition, and much more important than answering questions in the day-to-day, because when you can have that, you are tuned in, tapped in to your own map for your life, the map for living your best life. And when you can do that, this is where we can thrive. This is where we can be our most successful. So that's actually more important. So I say that, and I talk all the time in my videos about connecting with your soul and listening to your soul, and making sure, hi Eric, listening to your soul and honoring that. But I get messages from people sometimes that are like, okay, that's cool, but how do I do that? I don't really get it. Some of us, it's harder than others for us to be able to connect with our intuition, or we're not quite sure the way to do that. So the first thing that I want to say is it's really important to feel, don't think. So many times when we have a question, when we're trying to understand something, we are trying to think about it. We're trying to process it with our logical brain. We're trying to think about it and overthink about it. And absolutely, through that process, answers can come, right? We can have some answers come, but they may not be intuitive answers. Some intuitive answers might slip into that, but chances are it may not be an intuitive answer. Your intuitive answer is going to come from feeling it out, and feeling it out might be an immediate response that you have in a moment, and you might immediately get the answer to your question. Or some of us, it takes a little bit more time to feel that out, and to allow ourselves to just take our time and let ourselves feel into whatever it is that we're wanting to understand. So either way, and sometimes it's both. So sometimes you are feeling one day that you have an immediate gut response to something and you should listen to that, and then another day you just feel like, oh, I need to take a little bit more time to figure out the answer to this, to figure out what's going to be best for me. So I encourage you to listen to whatever it is that you are feeling is going to be the best with that. Hi Curtis. Hi Mom. So I am, I think that most importantly, sorry, I'm super distracted by the comments today, you guys. I think I'm really distracted today. I don't know. I think I need to do some more grounding. As a side note, if you guys ever find yourself feeling more distracted or a little bit, in your head, or feeling disconnected from things, it's really helpful to take a little bit of time to do some grounding. And one of my favorite ways to do that is just to be barefoot on the earth, or to imagine tree roots growing out of my legs and my feet and into the earth, and inviting that earth energy to flow up into me, because that will help me to feel more grounded, more connected to my body, and more able to focus with things. So yeah, so anyway, so I'm going to try to stay grounded through this video so that I can make sure that I cover that. So you want to feel into things. And so again, if we're trying to think about something too much, it can actually block the answer from coming because you're keeping your brain so busy that that intuitive part of the brain doesn't have space and it doesn't have room to be able to give you that real reaction or that real response, that real answer, the best answer for you. And so what we want to do is we want to release it. We want to set the intention. We want to say, okay, this is universe, God, angels, whatever you want to call that. I have a question, and here's my question, and I'm putting this up, so please show me the way. Please help me to intuitively have the best answer for me. Okay, so you want to set that intention, and you can think about it a little bit, but then you want to let it go, and you want to let the answers come. And so the answers oftentimes will come when your guard is down, when you're not thinking about it, because then you have created space in your mind to allow the answers to come. And so have you ever just been driving down the street and all of a sudden you have the best answers? When you get into that hypnotic state when you're driving, this is when the best answers can come. Or people have a similar experience when they're in the shower and there are fewer distractions and they're just kind of in the flow of taking a shower. So there are activities like that. Any activities like that where you can just sort of get into the flow of things, this is where the real answers can come. And so thinking about those things that are like that, or those things that you find yourself getting lost in, where maybe you lose time, where you can just get into a flow and you're not thinking a whole lot about a lot of things. So for some people, that's exercise type things like walking or running. When I'm running, all I'm thinking about is how much it hurts. but walking and hiking is awesome for me when I'm trying to connect intuitively and get intuitive answers. Yoga, things like that. Any of those exercise things, if you're able to get lost in a flow with things, that's going to be great. Even if you're lifting weights or whatever, any type of creative things that you could do. So if you like to paint or do crafts or color, those all of those adult coloring books that are out there, for those of you that like those, I know a lot of people love those and use those. That's a great way for you to meditate. It's a great way for you to get into a flow so that you can connect intuitively with these things. So we want to make sure that you are doing those type of things, or even just like, meditation, or like I said, driving. Anything that you allow yourself to get caught up in a flow. For some people who have a little bit more of the mind of an engineer, where you like to build things, or if you're somebody who just likes to do things with your hands, it's like building things or creating things in that way can be your place where you connect with your flow. So my whole point is to ask yourself, where do I just lose time? Where do I get into a flow? Where do I feel like my mind is kind of more open and less busy, and it doesn't mean that your mind's not going, because some of us just are bigger overthinkers than others, right? So you may never have a time where you're not thinking a lot about things, but where do you think less about things? Where is there more room in your brain for that intuitive response to come in? And then allowing that intuitive response to come in. And the whole key here is to not get too attached to the answers, to not get too attached to having the answer come on this specific day at this specific time, and to just get lost in the flow and let it come. And then don't overthink it too much after it does come. So when you feel like you get your answer and you feel like you have a better sense of how can I move forward with this, or what's going to be the best way, a lot of times the intuitive answer is not the logical answer. So your logical mind might be going, I don't know, like this is kind of a big step, or this is not the answer that feels safest for us, or whatever that is. And so you might have to battle that logical brain and that fear that comes up with that. But if intuitively that feels best and right, you're going to want to go for it. You're going to want to follow whatever it is that is coming through, because that is your intuition showing you the best path for your best life. So that is how you connect with intuition. If you guys have any questions, I would love to see them in comments. I'm happy to answer those. But try something, give flow a try. Meditation is an awesome way to enhance that even further. I'm going to be doing a Clarity Summit. It's going to be an online free summit in May where I'm going to be bringing together all these amazing teachers. And I think that the class that I'm intending to do is actually going to be on meditation for everyone, even for people who have a really busy brain. So keep an eye out for that. I'm going to be sharing that event pretty soon and letting people sign up and get set up in the group so that you guys can be participants with the Clarity Summit. So make sure, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I am getting those April tarot scopes up and all kinds of other videos on there. So make sure that you guys subscribe to that. That really helps me out in terms of building that, and it also helps you out because you get the notifications whenever I upload a new video. So take care, guys, and I'll see you soon with another video.